And live we are. How is it going? Welcome to another lesson for today. And, money management is a very important part of being successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. So, learning how to organize it and why to organize it is important to be motivated to organize it. So, today in this lesson, we're actually going to go over money management, specifically how to organize your money, but more importantly, why to organize your money. As always, I am Thomas J. Beleza. Please like, comment, and share this video to spread the knowledge and allow people to learn and grow together, right? Because we want to work together, grow together, and rise together. And that's the way we elevate everyone around us. And of course, subscribe for future content on how to be successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. Let's get right to it. If you have any comments, by the way, put them in the. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. If I don't get them to today, obviously I will react to it at another time. I promise. I answer every question, every valued question of substance, not those. Hey, do you like squirrels? And the answer is yes. All right. So money management. If you watch this channel regularly, you'll know that just this week we did a whole thing on how to run your life or your career like a business, and we focused on a lot of this, and we went through a whole formulated thing, and it said this is where your money should go, et cetera, et cetera. Today we're really focusing on the why, so you know the purpose of what you are doing. So I'm going to do a quick overview of what we talked about yesterday, but not an in-depth explanation of it. All right. So there are steps to organizing your money. All right. You want to have an 18-month plus a 3-month safety net. An 18-month foundation is ultimately the money you save so you can start a venture, either be an actor, a musician, to open up a donut shop. You want to have at least 18 months of your average monthly overhead saved up as your startup capital. But this is your foundation that pays for your overhead, basically, so you can focus 100% of your time on doing what it is you want to do and not necessarily worrying about having to work to pay your bills. Okay. This affords your overhead plus earns you movement. The movement is because you have as long as you have a minimum of 3 months safety net held in your foundation, it allows you to do the 60-40 split to organize your money as so, you could do things, right? Money to do, to create action. And that is security, growth, dream, and emergency fund. Basically, as you earn money over your 3-month safety net within your foundation, you're allowed to take that money and split it evenly into the 60-40. 60% goes into security, growth, dream, and emergency fund. Basically, you take that 60%. Let's say it's $100. 60% of 100 is $60. You divide that $60 into these 4 accounts, and so forth and so forth. The other 40% of that, say $100, which would be $40, goes back into your foundation because you want to always be building your foundation, always be adding money to your foundation. But why security, growth, dream, and emergency fund? Well, let's talk about the value of organizing your money into these funds and why we do it in this system, okay? This is going to really go over the how, but let's just go over some of the whys of a security, growth, dream, or reward, and your emergency fund, okay? Security, the rules of your security fund, the how to organize your money, the security is you never, ever touch your security money. This is money you put literally into your account, whatever account it is that you created for it, that you never touch unless you go broke. It's the money that ultimately is set for long form holdings. Any money you have in this, you don't touch, but you allow it to be in a long form holding, meaning like something as intense as like an Amazon, a stock, or maybe a long form CD, or anything that's going to generate interest to it. Okay, you don't want to just put it under your bed for a rainy day. This is your start again money. Security, the reason we don't touch it and we allow it to grow and it's long form holdings is because if all else fails and your plan, your venture collapses because you weren't doing everything you needed to do or some stuff happened, trust me, it happens, right? I was in a situation where I ended up being diagnosed with cancer. So my whole life went, right? And I had to reevaluate and readjust. And I'm glad I had a little bit of security to protect me, right? So I was able to get back up on my feet. All right. So this money helps you to literally start over. And if you have a good amount in there, because literally, if you have 18 months in your foundation, every time you get paid, it automatically is over the 3 month safety net, which allows you to do the 60-40 split. So at least for 12 full months, as you're making money working as background for actors or doing studio work or whatever, doing odd end uh, jobs within your industry of interest that aren't necessarily paying your bills. They're just opportunities for you to get in. Like, for example, working the desk or being an office PA, right? All this, it's not amazing pay, but it's amazing opportunities to get into your environment, your industry, and start networking and marketing yourself with your values and also learning the industry, right? But every time you make money, the first 12 months minimum, you're going to be able to do the 60-40 split. So there's a chance there's going to be a good amount of money in all four of these accounts. All right. But you want to protect yourself so you can take calculated chances. By filling up the security, it allows you to say, if I fail, I have that to fall back on to allow me to start over and get back on my feet and at least take care of what I have to take care of. Okay. Moving on, the growth. Growth is your investing money. You're investing into what? Assets. Assets generate wealth. Liabilities cost money to maintain. What is wealth? Wealth is the amount of time you go without having to recoup your income. So believe it or not, if you have 18 months foundation as startup capital, you literally are wealthy because you have a wealth of 18 months supplying you to exist. Some assets, if not all assets, by the way, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, intellectual properties, also known as IPs, businesses, real estate, IOUs, commodity. Real quick, if I wasn't going to explain it, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds are probably the beginning part for anyone who has $100 to $1,000. You could start investing. In fact, the stock market opens up at 9:30, it closes at like 4:30, whatever. And the idea is that you only have to put the first couple of hours into the day. You got to look at your numbers. Maybe you get a broker, whatever the case may be. You should start investing that money. This money, again, is allocated based on the 60-40 split over your 18-month foundation or your 3-month safety net. So it's money that is not affecting your overhead. It's money that your overhead is protected. So now you're able to do that, right? You're able to use that money. So intellectual properties, if you're an artist, if you're in the entertainment industry, you have intellectual properties. Your face, your likeness, your voice, everything about you is an intellectual property. You can literally film a movie and be like, hey, I'm going to copyright this, right? If you write a script, that's an intellectual property. If you record a song, that's an intellectual property. You have to copyright it because an intellectual property is copyright, trademark, or a patent, okay? So you probably already have intellectual properties. And basically what that means is if somebody wants it, they have to buy it. They have to license it. I know writers who personally, like screenwriters, that they get their projects licensed and then they hold the license for like 5, 6, 7 years. But every year or every 2 years, they get paid a chunk of money just so they can maintain the license. And you go, yeah, I'll take it. All right. Businesses, well, you're a business. If you're an actor, a performer, a musician, a director, you're a business. So you should be incorporated or an LLC. By investing into that business, the business is making you money. There's benefits to it. But the other aspect of businesses, by the way, is buying and selling businesses or buying businesses that you don't work at, that you own, and they generate income. Okay. It's important to always be growing businesses. In fact, Robert De Niro, who is a very successful, famous actor, it outright, or he's partners with the Tribeca Film Festival. So, I mean, think about it. You got to think beyond what it is you do. If you're a musician, you can't be like, well, I'm just going to make money with music. No musician makes money with just music. They learn to take the money they have and reinvest it into passive income and assets. Real estate, buy property. Buy property, rentals, trade the houses, sell the houses, get real estate. Obviously, as you accrued money into your growth, you'll be able to afford these. IOUs or IO untos. Basically, if I lend money to something like a project, let's say you want to be a producer, you'll be dealing with IOUs all the time because people would lend you money and you have to pay them back plus an interest, right? So if you have the money allocated here, it gives you a chance to say, hey, I can invest in you. What's the thing you're doing? This is how much money I need to get back within this much amount of time, plus a percentage. That's what that is. Commodities are traditionally, coffee, gold, wheat, things like that, orange juice. But you yourself are a commodity. So if you're an entertainer or you're a director, a writer, whatever it is, the commodity aspect is that people seek you out because you have a specific voice. So if you can be quote unquote unique in what it is you do, people will seek you out as a commodity and pay you. For example, Matt Damon gets paid a ridiculous amount of money to act in a film because he is a commodity. He has a draw value. All right. You also can invest in yourself for educational or skills. So once your growth is accrued, you can say, oh, now I could afford lessons to take for acting, or I could afford to learn, I could take a business class to understand how to run my business, et cetera, right? It allows you the opportunity to grow yourself. Because remember, you are a commodity. What your skill sets are, your value sets, everything that you bring to the table, your talents, that's a commodity. All right. Reward. Reward is very simple. It's money that you go, oh, look, I allocated enough money to take a vacation or buy that guitar I wanted or buy a new computer or whatever the case may be. It's money that you literally could spend on whatever you want because you've earned the right to just spend it instead of spending money that affords your overhead. Emergency fund is actually to fix your car or new clothing for an audition. It's money that you kind of put away. Now, traditionally, you want a minimum of $1,000 in there. Some people, they'll tell you, hey, once you have $1,000, $2,000 in your emergency fund, you don't have to really put any more money into it because it's just a quick one to pay. And then they say focus on your security, growth, and reward. It's up to you. Either way works. As long as you are putting money in at least these three, you're doing right by yourself. All right. So let me take a quick drink. I want to say before we move on to this whole part, please like, comment, and share on the video and subscribe for future content to learn how to be successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. We are going to go on to the last part of the video. So before you can take action, you need a foundation. The foundation is your startup capital. That 18 months allows you a chance to really take action and jump into your venture 100%. So you do not have to focus some of your time towards the thing you are passionate about and some of your time towards the thing you hate, which is usually a survival job. The concept of the 18 months is you organizing your money into a massive lump sum to take action. You are passionate, you have dreams, you have desires, and you want to do stuff. In fact, you'll do stuff that you hate because you get paid for it. Well, believe it or not, if you have the money to supply you the right to work for 18 months minimum, you will start generating money into your life within that first 18 months, which you'll find, holy crap, I'm creating opportunities. I have clients that literally work on shows nonstop. I have clients that write for a living. I have clients, and they basically start out as nobodies. They work their way up through networking, marketing, and practicing. And of course, they manage their time, money, and the people. So as they get money in, they know how to organize it. All right. Once you have that foundation, you need to identify a strong. You have to identify that a strong foundation comes with a safety net. This safety net, this 3-month safety net, could be 3 or 6 months. I like 3 months. The 3 months is telling you if you make any money over your 3 months within your foundation, you have allowed yourself, a safety net earns you the right to allocate money. It puts the 60-40 split rule into effect. So the way you organize your money is you just take it and you lump sum it into your foundation, okay? And once your foundation reaches a 18-month average monthly overhead cost, okay? So for example, if your average monthly overhead is $2,000, you need $36,000 in your foundation to officially quit your job and take action and step into your career. But you need to work 7 days a week at your career. You need to work more than 5 hours. You got to work 8 hours a day. What does that mean? Well, subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and you'll see we go over what the responsibilities of your job within the industry is to be rewarded financially to do the thing you do passionately. All right. Uh, and once you have that safety net, you can allocate into security, growth, dream, and an emergency fund. Why? The security account protects you so you can take calculated chances. A calculated chance is not a calculated risk, and it is not a risk. The reason is because whatever you do, you now have the foundation supporting you, paying for your overhead. You have the safety net saying, hey, any money you make, you can start organizing into your protection, your investment, your rewards, and your fix the issues. Because now that you have the security, you can take that calculated chance. You can work out a plan. You can say, what do I need to do? And you can actually do it. You can say, I can afford to do this. I can afford to volunteer my time. I can afford to go help that person. I can afford to say yes. And this is the great part about having a foundation that pays for your overhead. You can afford to say no to things that do not fit your brand. In the beginning, if you're working like a day job or a survival job and you're like, I hope acting or music or art or writing kicks off, and then you find yourself just saying yes to things because you have to pay your bill. A foundation gives you the right to say yes or no. Yes to the things you want to do, no to the things you don't want to do. Because if you are saying yes to things you don't want to do, you are now destroying your brand. For example, female actresses, especially the clients I deal with, sometimes they say, I don't want to do nudity, even though it pays ridiculous. And it's true. For a background actor, you get about $1,000 just to be nude, to topless. That's very tempting. But if you don't want to do nudity and you don't want to be like, well, in 5, 10 years, I don't want them to go back and see that I was a background naked, right? But that foundation gives you the right to say, I do not need to take this job to pay my bills. Okay? The foundation gives you control over your trajectory. So you can say, what is it I want to do? Look up an interview with Denzel Washington. Basically, I'll give you a summary. He was offered a role that would be very stereotypical for an African American. And he was like, what do I do? Do I take it? That's good money. And he called up Sidney Poitier, and Sidney Poitier is like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but remember, what you do defines who you are. Ultimately, that's what he said. I'm paraphrasing. And Denzel said, all right, I'm not going to do it. And then he ended up getting other roles that really focus. And if you look at Denzel Washington's career, he took very specific role types. Okay. That's because he had the choice. He had the ability to do it. Anyway, growth invests because it generates wealth. In your career, the reason you organize your money is you want money that protects you. You want money that you can invest to generate wealth while affording your overhead, and you're taking opportunity. Because as opportunities grow and money comes in, you don't want to be like, well, I got to pay my bills, so I have no money to invest. But if you have the money securing your bills and you know what you need in there minimum before you can start moving money around, it allows you to put money in there and allocate it. And once it hits a certain amount of money, you can start investing. Believe it or not, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, stocks, you need $100 to $1,000, you'd be good. Mutual funds, you need about $10,000 to really get anything, worth it. But there's different things. Go reach out to an accountant, reach out to an investor, reach out to a broker, and they'll help guide you in what you need to do. Also, the rule of three. Ask 3 accountants, find the one that you fit or gel with. Ask 7 accountants, but the rule of 3 works. Make sure you ask 3 different, very different likely individuals, especially with brokers, okay? The dream rewards you. It's so you can breathe. There's going to come a point where you have enough money organized into your reward, and you can say to yourself, all right, I earned enough I'm going to take a week off, and I'm going to reward. I have this extra money. I'm not even going to go anywhere. I just have this extra money. I'm going to take the money. It's literally, it affords me a full week of a reprieve. So whatever you're like, let's say you have a $2,000 a month overhead, and your dream reward has $500 in it. You could take that $500 and just put it into your foundation, and you go, I just afforded myself a whole week for free. And now you just get to take the week off and breathe and relax and enjoy yourself. And then the emergency fund is the fix. It's the peace of mind. Okay. Security is not to fix things. Security is to protect you so you can take chances. The emergency fund is organized money that fixes things for peace of mind. Your car breaks, you have the money. But the idea is you have to be diligent. When money comes in, place it into your foundation. Standardize a safety net of at least 3 months. Say, all right, I can afford 3 months or more in my foundation. Do the 60-40 split so you can have money you start getting put into. 60% gets divided into these 4 accounts: security, growth stream, and your emergency fund. That's it. All right. Hey, we did great. It was 20 minutes. Well, I'm pretty excited. Woo! All right. Like, comment, and share this video to spread the love. Why do we spread the knowledge and the love? Because the only way we can elevate the world around us is if we work together, grow together, and rise together. Give knowledge to others so others can help grow and elevate themselves. Surround yourself with good people. Your circle of influence influences your good habits. Be good to you, be good to others, and please subscribe for future content. I'll talk to you again. See you next time. Bye. Woo! We got today and tomorrow.